Welcome to episode 2, Trust Fund Baddies podcast. I have the one and only Chad, Mr. Defund Simping himself.
That's right.
So very excited to have him here, man. He's actually our first guest, and so this is a very momentous occasion for us.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to come for him to share his story about how he has gotten to build his platform, and just also his take on love and also heartbreak. And so thanks so much, Chad, for coming out, man.
Appreciate it, of course. Yeah, man. So my name is Chad, like you mentioned. I run a channel called Defund Simping. It started with just me trying to put guys on game. I wasn't trying to make any money. I didn't know you can even make money. I didn't know the dating coach thing was a thing, right? Because when I first started, it was just for shits and giggles. TikTok wasn't even paying. And when they started paying, I believe it was like 5 cents per 1,000 views.
That's crazy.
So I may make like $30 a month off of TikTok. And then people started asking me for like coaching advice, and I felt uncomfortable at first because I didn't feel qualified to coach somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good at giving people my own lived experiences, but coaching, I feel like that wasn't my forte. But the guy said, nah, bro, like, I don't care. I'm like, what's your price? I said, $20. He said, bro, I'll sell it right now. And we hop on the phone every single week. And then he's saying stuff like, bro, like, this is actually one of the best ROIs for $20 I've ever spent. You should look into this. And I started talking more about, hey, who wants a coaching call? And people were start booking more and more things. People in the dating coach industry started following me, and they're like, bro, you must be crushing it. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, bro, your content's good, you get a lot of views, you must be crushing it. I'm like, I don't know, I make like maybe $500 a month with this. And they're like, bro, what? And then more and more people started reaching out to me to help me build my business to the point now where I can, you know, do it completely full time and have some luxury along with it, which is nice.
That's impressive, man. That's really impressive. So in terms of where did the inspiration for the name Defund Simping come from? Where'd you get that?
Yeah, so it's funny because during the Black Lives Matter movement, Black Twitter takes nothing serious. So there was like defund my child support, like all this funny stuff, right? Because defund the police was a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, how can I join the Black Twitter fun? So I decided to say Defund Simping. And that tweet picked up some traction. And when I was making content on TikTok, my first name, if you're like a real OG, was Local Light Skin. Even though I consider myself brown skin, I just ran with local light skin. And then I was, you know what? Since I'm niching down with dating content, let me make this channel name Defund Simping, which is cool because when people see my name, they know immediately what I'm about. Yeah. Like, no shade to anybody else in the dating industry. Either it's just their name or like some interesting name like Duality Spin or like, I don't know, some name where you don't even know what's going on. Yeah. So with me, when you see Defund Simping, like, okay, I know exactly what he's about.
It's very on brand. So how do you even feel like in terms of having a very just clear vision in terms of who you are, a clear purpose, a clear message, how has that also affected your dating life?
So let me slow down. Let me make sure I understand the question. You're asking me, how do I have a dating life with a clear mind? Can you repeat that again, please?
So essentially, like, you know, having like a message like Defund Simping, that can be very controversial for some.
It can be, yes.
For some girls, they may be even, in a sense, taken back. So I'm just curious as to what is the side effects been of you now?
Oh, there it is, side effects.
You know, you voicing, you know, as a man, what we need to improve on.
Yeah.
And so how does that affect you dating?
All right, so I'll give you guys some story times. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started doing TikTok with dating, I was very abrasive. To give a comparison, I may throw out Andrew Tate, just because I spoke to men like we were in a boys' locker room, right? I was very abrasive, calling girls the B word and shit, because I was going crazy, right? Listen, bro, if you type in Defund Simping on the search bar on your TikTok and you scroll, you will find me back in the day, like going hard on these thoughts, bro. I was really going hard on them. And I realized, and then what happened is the blue-haired mafia and the super liberals, they were like, nah, get him out of here. So at the time on my personal Instagram, I had my first and last name. They put that into Safari. boom, there's my, on white pages, you can find my address, where my mom works, my mom's work phone number. They found my videography page. At the time, I was a full-time videographer, photographer. So all of a sudden, I'm at the house chilling, and I start seeing my phone vibrate. Google review, Google review, Google review, Google review. They left like 300 comments, 1-star reviews on my business, calling me a rapist and calling me every bad word you can think of on my business page. I'm like, damn, they're coming for the food out my mouth. Like, they're coming for everything, right? So, and then they also called my mother, right, at her job, and they were harassing her. And I'll never forget this. My mom called me and she was like, Chad, what's going on? And I didn't know, should I admit to what's going on or play dumb? I was like, what you mean? Like, oh, there's people playing your videos in the phone while I'm at my job. I'm like, okay, they're taking it too far. So I told her what's happening, and she said like, oh, what video are they mad about? And I broke it down, and she's like, well, at least you're doing something right. People are talking about you. I'm like, all right, cool. My mom's kind of on board. So I took a couple days off for my mental health, because they were coming for everything, man. Imagine your business is going down. They're on my personal Instagram page, leaving hate, and took a couple days off and got back on it. But to answer your question more specifically, girls do find it back in the day when I was more abrasive, and they'd almost cut me off. Right, I'm not gonna lie, they cut me off, which I didn't care about. I didn't really because I knew who I was. If they're gonna judge me off the content, that's okay. I know who I was in the day. But now, when they find it, since I'm not so abrasive and I'm very, very logical and methodical with my message, they may roll their eyes, but they still lay down with me to keep it PG. They respect it. So they may not like it, because it's funny. I'll be at a bar, see a girl, and she asks me what I do for a living. I'm like, I do some dating app photography. They're like, oh, is that all you do? I'm like, oh, okay. She's already seen me on her For You page. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, oh, like, is that all you do? Like, do you not make TikTok videos or something? I'm like, okay, yep, I do make TikTok videos as well. So it's like, they see it, but they're not as mad at it, because I'm coming at it a lot differently now. Like, the message is the same, the packaging's a bit different.
Yeah, but I think what also is being like recognized as a social status you built for yourself because of it. And that's something too, like, where I try to teach a lot of guys, where it's like, it doesn't really matter what you believe in, but if you're confident about what you believe in, you just stand on it, and you're willing to that's the hill you would die on, people respect you more. Like, people respect people that are just transparent about who they are.
Absolutely.
I mean, even we look at, like, as much as I'm not really one to get into politics, and people can say like, oh, like, they hate who Trump is, but the reality is that, like, most Americans know who he is, and that's why they voted for him. And so I think even now, though, in terms of being a man and like what you represent, and even in terms of dating, that's a very important thing, is just having a clear message and a clear purpose, because women respect that, and they'll gravitate to that more than a guy who's just like, you kind of just going with whatever culture says. You don't really want to step on any toes. Like, you're trying to play it safe.
Yeah, man, to speak on that, even on dates, as you guys know, I am a dating coach. I tell guys to be abrasive, be homophobic, be racist on these dates. Like, be yourself, because like, how bad would it be
100%.
if you were to hold your tongue, date 1, 2, and 3. All of a sudden you let out like, oh, that's gay, or oh, that's this, or oh, that's that. And she's like, wait, what? You're like, damn. Like, I can't speak the way I want to speak, and I've already built all this equity, spent all this money. Do I cut her loose, or do I just muzzle myself for this whole relationship? Like, for example, let's say I'm out with a girl. I always try to find a way to let her know I'm outspoken. Right? So last night, I'm out with this chick, and she's like, oh, my friends want to meet up with us. I'm like, which ones? The homosexuals? Like, oh my God, like, don't say that. I'm like, they are homosexual, Like, so she knows I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to say.
True crash out.
Yeah, I'm going to say what's on my mind, And it's like, here's the thing. Are they homosexual? Yes, those men are homosexual. So it's like, I'm not wrong. It's just the way, it's just the way you say it. I'm like, I'm not going to change the way I say anything, Mind you, she still went home with me that night. You can fill in the blank. What happened next? So the point is, it's like, I want men to be authentic. And you don't have to post content like me, but I want you guys to be able to express yourself on these dates. Because here's a cool thing. If you express yourself and she sees you again, there you go. And if you don't express yourself, and if you express yourself and you don't see her again, that's okay. She's just not the girl for you.
Absolutely, I completely agree. I actually made a video once that got like some good views on. I was saying, the best thing you can do with the girl is fumble as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Like, be as weird as you can, do whatever. That's like literally, you don't want to be 3, 4, 5 days in and now you just messed up.
Exactly.
And then especially you got no ROI at that point too. You really upset at what happened. So
absolutely,
that's number one. That's definitely a big thing, man. Just being yourself. That's awesome, man. I like to kind of just see. Even what's interesting as well, I feel like in terms of being successful in today's age, not just even in terms of digital age, whatever it is in life, you gotta crash out, man. Like, you gotta really find something, some message, some theme, some ideology that, like, this is what I'm willing to go all in about. And until the day I die, this is my message, man. I think, like, from, of course, the success you've seen for you, what I've seen for myself in the past couple months, like, I just kind of tell people, I just been kind of crashing out. Like, a lot of things where I might talk about probably, you know what I'm saying, with the bros, or just even with some of my female friends, it's like, these are now topics that we're speaking about openly, and the world is looking at us like, oh my gosh, like, did they really just say that? Are they really addressing these things? And we're just respectfully crashing out right now.
Now, when you say crashing out, how I see the word crash out is you get, like, you get out of character, right? So is that what you're trying to say? Like,
no, in the sense of just like going all full character. We going full character.
Got you. Okay, got you.
That's the sense of like crashing out. Like, just doing everything with, like, to your point, just like no regret of anything, man. Just being ourselves and like being unapologetically ourselves at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like, the world's going to accept us for who we are, and at the same time, like, what we're standing for is something that, like, has to be addressed. Like, in terms of, you know, defund simping, guys that are leading with their wallets first.
Yeah.
In an age where, like, now girls are eating us up, they're taking advantage of us, like, financially.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
all right, guys, a little quick interruption.
Quick interruption. We're back after that short break. So, Chad, you've been in LA how long?
3 years now.
3 years. So, speak a little bit. How do you feel about your dating experience in LA, and what's the dating life and the culture like in LA?
To be honest, man, LA for me has been very easy. I do think that LA has more of a dating culture, and what I mean by that is, I haven't visited New York yet, but when I was out in Miami, what I've noticed is guys go out with the guys and the girls go out with the girls, and the guys just invite the women to wherever they're at. So for example, having a match with a girl on a dating app and say, yo, like, Friday night, let's go to drinks. She'd be like, oh, I'm not sure yet, I'll let you know, because she much rather go out with her girls and bounce around different, you know, venues with different guys inviting them, opposed to sitting down one-on-one with me. Versus in LA, I have no problem going on a date or two a week, and it's cool, it's intimate, and also, again, this also comes down to your respect, because if you're watching this and you're like, wait a minute, in LA, girls are asking me for rent money, girls are asking me for Ubers, it's because they don't see you as that guy. Right? You know, whatever your lived experience is, you're gonna project. So for me, my lived experiences, most girls I've dated have been very kind, they've been respectful. Yeah, I may not have seen them again, but on the date, they were kind, they were cool, but I just, and they never really ask me for anything, you know what I mean? So if you have a very negative experience with girls, it's because they just don't see you as that guy.
That's funny. Now you kind of make me appreciate a little bit more of my LA dating experience, because at first I would say, like, dating here sometimes can be a little cold, because you'll go on a date, you think you have the best time ever, you done took her to 2 spots that night, and you're vibed out. The messages before is good. She's heading home telling you, oh, you know, she made it back safely. And then next thing you know, you're trying to get a second date, now you got ghosted.
You know what? So here's the thing, man. I go on dates with the mentality of, hey, I may never see her again. I'm just gonna have a good time tonight, and whatever happens, happens. When you go on dates and you expect things, right? Like, one thing I love doing to girls, guys, take notes on this one. When they say things like, oh, Chad, you mentioned you like Italian food. Maybe the next time you can go to this spot, that spot. I'm like, yeah, that's if you make it past the first one. They're like, wait, what? I'm like, girl, come on. How many times have you been on a first date and never saw the guy again? Then they're like, well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm like, listen, girl, if we can make it past this one, we'll go check out that Italian spot. Because I know how fickle people can be, so I don't hold them to a high standard. Because think about it, guys, when has a girl ever texted you after a date and said, hey, you're a really cool guy and all, but I just wasn't feeling that spark? I may get that text once a year.
Yeah, facts.
You know? So for me, I just kind of, it's like this, right? Whenever I see a girl, either she comes over to my crib or it's a first date, I make peace with the fact that I may never see her ever again.
That's a strong mentality to have. I think that's really strong to have. All right, so now speaking of that, for you to have that resilience and that mindset, that had to have come from some form of heartbreak.
Of course.
Could you speak on what was your biggest heartbreak in life? What really sparked Mr. Defund Simping?
Yeah, so I'll say two things. The first thing is, what I learned about people is, since I can't control the outcome, I'm not going to get mad at it. If I go on a date with a girl and had a great time, yes, she may have had a great time as well, but I can't control her to see me again. It's completely on her own accord. Sure. And since I can't control the situations, like for example, I can control, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, I'm gonna eat clean, I'm gonna get my 1,000, 10,000 steps, I'm gonna make my content. So I hold myself to that standard because I can, because I'm me, I can control me. I can't control the fact that this girl will be on time on our date. I can't even control if she'll even text or call me back. Since I've been no control, I let it go. Right? A lot of times when guys are dating, they meet a girl, they latch, and they hope that, okay, I like this girl, I have respect for this girl, hopefully she has the same for me. And then when you realize they don't, it's like, wait a minute, why am I, like, you're holding women to a standard that is not reciprocated or isn't even talked about. You know what I mean? So that's the thing I'll say. I'm only cold-hearted because I can't control the outcome. You know, if everyone moved with honor and respect, then I feel like I'd be a bit more optimistic. But since there's not a lot of honor and respect, that makes me pessimistic. Number two, the heartbreak, I'll keep it brief because I can make it a 20-minute story. I'll say this. I met a girl on Tinder, but she lived in Santa Barbara while I was living in Orange County. It's like a 2.5, 3-hour drive. We spoke on FaceTime for months and months. I'm gonna say about 4 months. You're probably thinking, Chad, why don't you just drive up there and see her? I was nervous. Like, this girl was everything I wanted. She was very physically attractive. She was very articulate. She was very smart. We had long 2-3 hour conversations about, dope subjects. I really enjoyed her. I really thought this could be my girlfriend. And then when we finally met up in person about 4 or 5 months later, she had a fat hickey on her neck. And I wanted to call her out about it because that's just, listen, I know you're single, I know I'm single, but to just have some respect. That's all. I just want respect. So I didn't call her out on the date because I feel like with women, what's on her neck? What? That. Well, what's that? A hickey. What do you mean? Well, I just feel like she wouldn't be like, yes, this is a hickey, my apologies. Yeah. It wouldn't have been that easy. Yeah, so I went on the date with her, gave her a little peck on the lips, sent her back on her way to Santa Barbara, and I drove home like, damn, like, this is how you're gonna do me? Like, this is crazy. Next morning, hey, you get home safe? I did. I'm like, cool. I just wanna say, I'll call her Jessica, I didn't appreciate the hickey. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, girl, FaceTime me right now and I'll show you what you mean. I'll show you what I mean. And then she left me on scene. Okay, she's probably just getting ready to call me. Never called. And I was like, damn, 5 months, all this, intimate, deep conversations, just thrown away, right? And that made me super sick. I'm like, damn, how can somebody just disregard somebody like that? No apologies, no nothing, just bye. And that made me go down a rabbit hole to find information, because I know there's information out there that could have stopped this from happening. And here's the thing, I gave you the quick story. There's plenty of red flags she's shown. Actually, let me tell you one story that kind of make more sense. I don't know how this came up in conversation. I really don't. But one day she starts talking about her hoe phase, where she doesn't, at least what she says, she wasn't sleeping with guys at her college. She'd look up the basketball roster on who's coming. So for example, San Diego State's playing and next weekend. Okay, cool. SDSU roster 2021, 2019. Oh, he's cute. What's his name? John Baird. Instagram, John Baird. There he is. Double tap. Done. Case closed. So that guy will pull up to a hotel in Santa Barbara because, they're playing Santa Barbara. She pull up on him, smash, and ghost him. Never talk to him ever again.
Yeah, these women are wicked.
So when I heard stories like this, I'm like, damn, she sounds wicked. Yeah. But she wouldn't do that to me. And then she showed me exactly how she can do that to me. So the red flags were there. They were staring me in my face. I was just optimistic. And then when she showed me why you should be a bit more pessimistic. So the red flags were there. I just ignored them. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I haven't gotten in a minute because of that. I've been able to put some defense around myself to where I'm like, yeah, Chad, you like her, but don't expect her to uphold honor and respect. Like, she's still single. Like, don't think, oh, she wouldn't do that. She could.
Yeah, absolutely.
She most definitely could. You know,
I think that's like a heartbreaking thing too for a lot of men. Like, the villains that we become, they made us like this. It's that one Bane line. It's like, either die or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Something like that.
Here we are, y'all.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah.
Now y'all gotta deal with the two of us because you couldn't keep it peak.
Yeah, true. It happens, man. It happens to girls too. You know,
it does.
Guys, you know, we make villains out of these girls too. Yeah. So it goes both ways. It's not like a one-way thing.
Absolutely not.
But how about yourself, man? Ever had any LA girls make you sit here on the couch and then look at the ceiling?
Honestly, this is a great question, man. And I've actually never talked about this publicly, but I had this one situation. You know, I just told you I came back from Brazil.
Okay.
So part of also the fascination of me wanting to go, I wanted this date was Brazilian, probably about like a year or so ago.
For sure.
Beautiful girl, met her like right back here in the promenade. You know, we're talking, going on a date. It's a great date. One of those like dates that's like you feel as if like could be love at, this could be like my lover kind of thing. You know what I mean? Sure, like that special type of just like kinetic, just the two of us kind of just like, whoa, this is a lot. So great first date, took her to one spot, had a good time, took her to a rooftop hotel, had a good time. We're having such a good time. There's like this one guy asking us, like, I went to the restaurant, one guy asked her at the bar, I was like, hey, like, what day is it for you guys? She's like, oh, it's the first day. He's like, wow, you guys just seem like madly in love, essentially, right?
That's dope.
Right, so it's a great time. So then that's the first date. We meet up a few days later to go get dinner. We get dinner at this one place. We leave there, go to another spot, had a good time, go to like another rooftop venue, having a great time. Everything is just perfect. We took like these photos at this first dinner spot we went to on the second date. I mean, like, I'm gonna show you the photo afterwards. You would think like we were about to be like, you would think we were like a married couple, just had a kid.
Nice.
2 kids kind of things, like a young couple. And so, yeah, man, I'll even admit this. So I remember the first date, actually on the simple, I was like, I was asking her like, what's her favorite color? She's like, pink. You know, what's like your favorite flower? She's like, tulips or whatever.
Sure.
So my second date, you know what? It's going so good. Let me bring something like nice and caring. I'm kind of like, you know, what kind of guys do you like? What do you like? Because I'm asking her like, what are you used to? You know, she's mentioned like the kind of like toxic kind of thing she kind of got out of. I'm talking a little bit about the toxic situation I kind of got out of. So I'm like, all right, let me kind of just meet her in the grounds of what are you looking for in a guy according to you? So
gotcha.
Second day goes well, nice gesture, she likes it. She even gives me the picture to keep. Right? So, after that, I was texting her for like the third date or whatever we're supposed to go. And then at least to her respect, she actually gave me like an explanation, like, hey, basically like she was too much in love with me. She was scared to kind of follow through. Her thing was like, hey,
interesting.
It's just too strong of emotions, like too much kind of happening too quickly.
I don't know how, listen, when people break up with me, I don't give them explanations. I just hold down the text, thumbs up. That's all they're gonna get out of me because I feel like that's a cop out. Hey, I like you too much, so I'm gonna leave you alone. No, I get it because she's like, okay, if I like him this much, therefore he has the potential to really destroy me. Mm-hmm. I get that part, but I don't know, man. If I were to read that myself, if a girl sent that to me, I would just go, you know what? There could be an underlying factor she's not telling me, and that's okay. I'll just take it on the chin, hold the message down, thumbs up. And you know what's funny, bro? The thumbs up move, guys, man, the thumbs up move is goated because here's the thing about women. You've probably seen this in reality TV shows and stuff. Women want you to yearn for them even when they reject you. So when I've had plenty of girls, write me these like heartfelt, like, hey, this is not going to work out. I just go, boop. And then at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., really, question mark? I'm like, what you mean? You're not gonna like say anything? Yeah. I'm like, what's there to say? Yeah. You're over this.
So that's part of the thing I want to kind of discuss about dating in LA, right? Like these girls are so used to a quality of life, a standard of getting like courted and things like that. Like none of that stuff is meaningful. So like, granted, had I probably been dating somewhere on the East Coast with a girl like that, it'd be a little different. But I think in LA, it's just like everything is so superficial. It's so like you're just gonna see like the next shiny object the very next day. So unless it's like a very true, like just deep connection with like kind of meeting your person, I do think even though LA it's more polite than other dating areas, it's not really the easiest place to date either.
Well, I'll say this, man. The cool thing with a big city is there's so many people.
Absolutely.
And another thing with LA too is like it's kind of funny. everyone has their hub, right? So for example, Marvin here, he lives in Santa Monica, right? So he can go get sushi, pizza, a sandwich, a coffee, a beach walk, an acai bowl, all within like a couple of blocks, right? So it's like, any part of LA that you're in, there's so many people.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, for example, he can even go on a cold approach, our cold approach run and meet girls organically.
That's exactly what I mean, right? There's so many options for both of us.
True.
So it's like, even me, that's why I don't really take anything personal. Like, any girl I deal with, I can meet a replacement, like today. Like, I can walk outside right now, I can forget about everything I've been dealing with for the past couple weeks, months, whatever. And so I think to the same extent, the women have the same, just as much of abundance of option. And I think that's what, to my point, it's desensitized true love, relationships, intimacy. We don't really value, to your point, you don't meet a lot of good people. So now we do meet good people. I do think in this day and age, good people are, you're like a light, so you frighten everyone else that's in the dark.
Yeah, I can speak on that. It's interesting because some girls much rather date you when you make them feel slightly uncomfortable, and it's such a hard pill to swallow. I've seen so many videos of girls, like, I can tell it's 2 a.m, they're in their bed, they're like, guys, like, I met a guy that, again, there's no danger. Like, he's super this, he's super nice, sweet, flower bringing, dinner, courting. That actually makes some girls uncomfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's so unfortunate.
It's crazy.
So it's like, all right, like, in a way, ladies, sorry, what women reward sexually is what men become. So if they're seeing the guy with the flowers get rejected and the fuck boy at the bar in the leather jacket gets smashed in the same night, they're like, well, F these flowers, I'm gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? So women do hold a lot of power in the dating market. Is they, like, for example, why are girls lining up for Future, NBA Youngboy, Cam Newton, right? All these guys that have multiple mothers, and they'll keep doing it. I think Nick Cannon's on baby mama number 7 or 8.
It might be 10 at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, if men are seeing, hey, I can be a deadbeat father and girls will still sleep with me. Now, mind you, you might have to have some resources. You can't be completely dead broke. But the point is, it's like, damn, dating has gotten different because the things that women say they want are not being sexually rewarded.
No, whatsoever.
You know?
Whatsoever.
It's unfortunate. Now, I'll say this, though. Are there women out there sexually rewarding the good men? Absolutely. Sure. But it's not talked about a lot.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man.
I think they're hiding, man. It's not that. They might be hiding.
What is your dating strategy like, I guess, as far as, like, are you dinner guy? And are you, like, what's your strategy, I guess?
So for me, I mean, I'm definitely more of I like dinner dates. Okay. First dates kind of my thing. I'm trying to think. Usually, on average, I'm usually going to dinner for the first date. Okay. I kind of like a spot, my go-to spot. You know? Nice. So I do like a dinner date. I'll say like my most recent date excursion I had recently. So we did like a dinner date. It was the first date. Then we went to like the museum for the second date. Like the third date, we met for like drinks somewhere in like Culver City and like Canton Santa Monica Pier afterwards. And so I'm usually a bit of like a dinner guy, and then I like to do more of like the artsy, fun kind of stuff. Like nature kind of thing as well. So that's usually like my take. Got you.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm not disrespecting the strategy. The only thing I will say to guys about dinner is I want a girl to see me as the value, and then what we do is the bonus. So let me explain. If I say I turn to a woman and I see a guy I match with, I see him as a 6 out of 10. And if I'm a woman, okay, if this guy I deem as a 6 out of 10, if he says drinks or coffee, the answer is no. Why? Because I don't see you as attractive enough to exchange my time for a coffee or a drink. However, if it's a nice restaurant, you know what? I'll go get some food, right? So for me personally, I like to start with drinks. Now, mind you, I don't even drink. Like, I would legit have one drink after I'm done with my drink. It's always, this is the funniest part. Would you like another drink? Are you getting another drink? No. Why? I'm not a drinker. Oh, well, I'm good. So we end up having one drink each, right? Now, there's sometimes there are some times though where I'm like, yo, like, get another. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and judge you. Get another. So I'll give him another one. But the thing is, I start off with a date where most girls aren't going to go on a drink date for shits and gigs. Most girls have a bottle in their house. You know what I mean? So I do drinks and an appetizer if I'm feeling it.
All right, so I'm now about to really get into the
Sure.
into mathematics. On average, how much is the first date for you?
I spend anywhere on the low end 40, on the high end 80.
So that's what I'm saying. So for me, on my first date, dinner and everything, my spot specifically, I could drop like an 80 piece, bruh. Have a.
So here's the pro. Here's the pro of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like this, right? There's some times where I was feeling it, and we did 2 drinks each at a nice place. Like think about the Edition Hotel in Santa Monica. A drink's like $21. So 2 drinks each. That's about almost $100, right? I'm like, damn. We could have got down some good kebabs and had some protein.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like I get the spot I go to, bro. We get 2 entrees and a bottle of wine. I'm gonna put you on.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put you on.
So
it's like, so for me too, it's the convenience of it. It's like one of those things where I'm also like, a lot of times I would say like, usually I feel like when I go on most dates, I know like likely she isn't gonna be my person. So I'm also kind of going in the intention of like, I'm a first time closer, so.
You know, first time. It's
you know what I'm saying? So it's part like respect, also part kind of like I'm trying to get a return on my investment at the same time. So that's probably my reason why. Because I know to your extent, of course, I have had dates where get drinks and things like that, but usually it's like it's not going to escalate much. So
got you. Yeah, man. I feel like every guy needs to find out their strategy, whether it's the yard house happy hour or it's a rooftop bar. And one thing that Marvin has perfected is that I call it a home game.
Yeah.
So, for example, if a lot of guys out there, they have no structure. It's each date's different. I say find your home base, a bar or a restaurant you like. You know the food's good. Maybe the waiters or the bartenders in there know you, they hook you up. Maybe the first round's free, right? So he has a home base. He knows the spot he's going to, probably where he's gonna sit. Everything's good, right? He knows what to order, right? It's very masculine when a guy can go, okay, hey, I know what to get here. You can chill out. I know what you like. Cool. Hey, give me that one bottle in the back, the special one, right? Like you can make it sound so cool. So find your home base. Gentlemen, I feel like that's a big leverage in dating where you're also by your spot, you're not too far, right? So I feel like having a strategy is one of the best things to go about when it comes to dating.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah. Man, Chad, so much value add here, man.
Absolutely.
If I could ask to say, one last thing you want to share to men in terms of what do you feel as if has been the biggest thing that men struggle with from your community, your clients?
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing they struggle with?
Last thing I'll leave you guys with is dating on your terms, man. A lot of guys today, they're dating on the woman's terms, right? Let me drive to her area, let me pick her up, let me do this dinner date. And what happens is when they date on the woman's terms, they start to resent the girl, resent women in general. Because he's like, wait a minute, I'm doing the flowers, the Ubers, the dinners, and I'm not getting the same result as the F-boy from the bar or the club. Why is that? So fellas, if you date on your terms and you don't get what you want, that's okay because you did it your way. If you do it the woman's way, it can lead to resentment.